a strong forward pack, and the likes of Martin Tapau and Kepi and all those sort of guys have got to be ready to take them on.
They have made some changes at Belmore HQ ahead of this game. Jaden Ockenbaugh out of the side as the rain really pours down now here at Brookvale. Ockenbaugh replaced on the wing. Braden Burns will shift to a wing. Aaron Schopp comes into the side, and this man, Matt Burton, with his enormous boot, might terrorise the likes of Jason Saab, Tom Travojevic, and also Ruben Garrick today, the back three for the Seagulls.
Well, is there a bigger boot or a bigger kicker in the game than Burton? They'll have to put a bit of pressure on him because he just sends them to the sky. As you mentioned, the back three will be under the pump.
It is multicultural round in the NRL. Stronger together. Great recognition from the Seagulls here in their first appearance at home for 2022. Jake Travojevic in the middle, his brother at the back, has been subdued to start the season. We'll wait and see whether the effect of the new rules and penalties as opposed to set restarts, your own end of the field, continues to be a bit of an Achilles heel for Tom Travojevic and his teammates.
Well, he needs a little bit of a hand from some of his teammates, doesn't he? Especially up front. They've been meek and mild, haven't they? The forward pack of the Seagulls to start the competition. He needs some help. But this man, Olakau'atu, one of the good young back rowers in the competition. 18 tackle busts so far this season, so he's been doing his job. Dangerous player on the fringe. They
met twice last year, both these teams. The Seagulls big winners on both occasions. We're underway here. The final game of round three. They'll go down to the corner where Travojevic makes the catch. It's Marty Tapau to bring it forward. A couple of coaches going against each other who have both coached their opponents, of course, in previous stints. Trent Barrett and Des Hasler meeting here today. A ball out the back, it's still there. Burton comes up with it for the Bulldogs and is play on. First mistake in these awful conditions made by the home side. It's Jackson. Play it 5 metres out. Comes back here to Paul Vaughan. Was rumbling forward, nothing doing there. Marshall King waits at dummy half. Comes back. Jackson again. They're still just 5 metres out. Marshall King looking to his left-hand side. Finds Brandon Wakeham, who grubbers in behind. Good effort in the end there. Coming back, Olakau'atu. Well, he thought he'd cleaned up. Maybe he had it because the Bulldogs think they've scored. Ben Cummins agrees. He points to the spot, and 2 errors in the opening minute and 15 seconds really hurt the Seagulls here today. Well, it all came, and we mentioned the conditions at the start of the game. I think it was Kepi that tried to throw the ball out the back. Now, that's not the sort of conditions to start the first set of 6. To throw the ball out the back like that, the Bulldogs, what a start. They make you pay. Wakeman it is who gets the try. Olakau'atu couldn't clean up the back. The ball springs free. The tackle over the top, a good chase from the Bulldogs. He slams the ball down. The Bulldogs, after a mistake early, I thought they'd come out firing the Manly side. 2 mistakes early. The Bulldogs make them pay. An amazing opening here to this game. Watch it again. Olakau'atu hit down low. Wakeham strong on the turf. The ball comes free. He plants it down. Olakau'atu might have been complaining that he was hit around the head there by Brandon Wakeham. The referee on the field did not agree, and it's the Bulldogs 4 points to 0. I reckon the message will go out from Des Hasler too. Hey boys, we've got to complete our sets, especially as I mentioned in these wet conditions. On the second tackle, trying to turn around and offload and flop the ball back is not the way to play. And the Bulldogs make them pay. Oh boy, it is bucketing down here at Brookvale at the moment. And they might be set for an absolute drenching throughout this game, the way it looks set in at this point in time. Burton hits the uprights, can't convert from close range. It is that kind of day. The mistake from Olakau'atu gives the Bulldogs early possession. They score off the back of it. They lead by 4. Watch it again, backing up on his own kick. Olakau'atu had cleaned it up, but Wakeham just strong on this pristine surface. The old boggy Kaikuyu surface has been placed by a brilliant new swathe of couch grass here, and my goodness, it's an absolute billiard top. But it's getting a drenching here at the moment, James Hooper, I guess, as you are as well.
G'day Warren, g'day Blocker, evening everybody. Yes, it's official, Warren. It is a heavy 11 here on the northern beaches at the moment. It is wet and it is wild. Look at all those people out on the hill at the moment. Umbrellas, ponchos, the works. A huge day for the Manly Club, Warren. The opening of the new Bob Fulton grandstand, the late great Immortal. Big day. We need to see a response here from the Maroon and White.
We'll wait and see, of course, the old Fulton Menzies stand at the southern end of the ground has been renamed the Lions Menzies stand, with recognition of the great Cliffy Lions, of course. Maybe it should be called the Lions 2 Menzies stand, given they combined for so many tries right here at Brookvale. In the 80s, or rather the 90s, they were sensational. Burton it is. The kick down towards Jason Saab, who's been terrorised by teams to begin this new season. Makes a good catch here. What a battle it is today up against Josh Addo-Carr, who will give away a penalty here for just going on with it too long in the tackle.
Tackle's complete.
We've seen a lot of that in this round, haven't we? Just blokes laying in and around the play the ball, just taking a little bit too long to jump off. But Addo-Carr's put Saab on notice there. He'll be in his face all evening. And then we get the penalty on zero tackle. We're up in the territory of the Dogs.
So we'll see what they can do the first chance they get in attack here, just inside the Bulldogs 40. There's Croker, who waits at dummy half. He comes across to the hands of Foran. Tom Trbojevic, well defended there by Aaron Schopp in his second appearance of the season and his first start. 6 again here for the Seagulls. There's Andrew Davey. Missed most of last season after suffering an ACL injury in the opening rounds of 2021. Here is Tom Trbojevic, plenty of touches early on. He's at the 20. From Croker it comes across to Jake Trbojevic. Cherry Evans showing it inside, going outside. Harper did well initially to beat Brent Naden. Now he'll play it just inside the 10. Cherry Evans back to Croker. Flat pass there, good tip on from Tapau. Off the legs there of Braden Burns coming forward, then knocked on by the Seagulls. Wakeham has it, he's away again. Nobody in front of him. Tom Trbojevic chasing from behind, forced a kick. Cherry Evans loses it backwards. Ola Kawatu is there to clean up. Wakeham almost created 2 tries from his own kicks. Now Saab launches a counter-attack.
Yeah, what about that? Ola Kawatu, how did he get back there after making that mistake for the first try for the Bulldogs? He had to sprint from the other side of the field to get there. Otherwise, the kick back in field from Wakeham was a beauty. Ola Kawatu cleans up.
Kick here by Croker will go inside the 20. Addo-Carr going back to clean up and look to his right-hand side. He'll take the tackle of Lachlan Croker and also Sean Keppie there. What a frantic last 60 seconds here. Quite the opening to this one between the Seagulls and the Bulldogs, live on Fox League. Burton from dummy half. Good tackle there. Driving in low, no surprise. It was Jake Trbojevic on Aaron Schopp, who came across the field to take a carry.
Hold here, boys, here, come on, here. Hold! Go forward. Andrew!
Now Vaughan. Bring it back here to the halfway line. The rain hasn't completely stopped, but it's eased off dramatically at the moment. That's a good sign. Burton, one of those towering bombs once again. Everybody watches it. It sits up here for Kieran Foran, who skips past the initial tackle there of Aaron Schopp, and they grab him just outside the 20.
Gee, it was unbelievable, that kick. Here's Parker with a good break up onto the halfway line. Both sides, it's been a frantic pace early in this game.
Well, hasn't it what? It's been end-to-end for a game played in awful conditions for the first 7 minutes. It has been try line to try line. Here is Cherry Evans. Away to this left-hand side. Comes to Parker, who digs in. Loses his footing as he tries to step back in the inside there of Wakeham. Cherry Evans comes to Tapau. They'll punch it forward towards the uprights with one more play left in this set. Back to Cherry Evans, feigns the kick. Tom Trbojevic on the outside, spinning, won't get there. Held up by a great piece of Bulldogs defence.
Held up.
It was Braden Burns on this right-hand side, I think you'll find, who did most of the holding up there on Turbo Tommy Trbojevic.
Gee, that's a good sign here for the resolve of the Bulldogs. Got on the outside of his man there, but Burns it is that holds him up. It's a tough tackle to make. Good, strong one. The troops came late. Turbo full of running early in this game. Unfortunate not to get the try there, but a scramble and resolve from the Bulldogs. A different team to last year.
There is no question about that. Kept the Cowboys to just 4 points in round one. As I said, that form holds up pretty well given what the Cowboys have done to both the Raiders and the Broncos over the past couple of weeks. Vaughan playing it, comes across there to Jackson. Flat pass from dummy half. Some of the locals in the Jane Try stand on the western side of Brookvale, blowing up. Burton, a kick here, thinking 40-20, didn't quite have the angle on it. And found the touchline about 23 out from the Manly line. So Trent Barrett, who coached here at the Sea Eagles in 2016 to 2018. I'm delighted with the way his team has begun here today, as the rain really has eased off remarkably given how heavy it was just a moment ago. In his time here, 29 wins, 43 losses for Trent Barrett. Wasn't a great ending the way it all panned out. He was on gardening leave for half a season, it seemed like. Well, garden furniture was a talking point, wasn't it? He was very much in the headlines in that third and final season when he was in charge here and up the road, of course, at their training HQ at Narrabeen. Manly get a penalty. Well, look for the line here, and we go back downstairs to James Hooper.
Good news on the sideline, Warren. Conditions have really eased significantly as Daly Cherry Evans is going to find touch. No, Matt Dufty. I'll throw it back here for a second.
Can you believe that? Dufty it is, bringing it out here. Cherry Evans trying to bite off too much. And didn't go close in reality to finding the sideline, so Duffy brings it back, and the Bulldogs, just like that, almost back here at the halfway line.
It's a horrible mistake there from Daly Cherry Evans. There's a loose ball again, a knock on. Both ways. It looks like the first one will be from the Doggies.
Bit of a break now, Hoops. We'll come back down to you once again.
Yeah, just on this surface, Warren. So the entire surface has been completely relayed over the course of the off-season, as we see a Manly player down on the ground here at the moment. And what they've done is they actually dropped it down a half a metre, the entire surface. Forget the old goat track days, Warren, when you used to have the long grass going out of control at Brookvale Oval. This surface is like a billiard table at the moment. It is carpet, it looks superb, and even with the deluge, the drainage is tipped to be cherry ripe.
Well, it wouldn't be out of place at Augusta National Golf Club, where the Masters will be played once again live on Fox Sports in a couple of weeks' time, and it is absolutely pristine. Second game today played on it. There is hardly a mark, which is remarkable given the nature of the surface at Brookvale here for decades, Blocker.
That's a lot different than what it used to be. Yeah, it looks sensational, doesn't it? And the new Bob Fulton stand too also. Seats 3,000 people at the other end. That's pretty full. Crackerjack open from both sides.
Here is Harper offloading in the tackle. Comes back to Marty Tapau, who'll play at about 35 out. From the Bulldogs line, they've been close to scoring already, with Tom Trbojevic being held up. Jake Trbojevic just handing it off there for Kepi. Partnering Tapau again in the front row today. From Croker, comes across to Tapau. Comes towards Marshall King. They're just outside the 20. Not much adventure so far in this set. They might be ready for a spread now. In fact, it goes from Tom back to Jake. Nothing doing there, and this Bulldogs defensive line is rock solid still. Here is Kieran Foran taking them on. It is simple stuff in these greasy conditions. Just one out running. Trbojevic there again. Tom, that is, to Powell. Looks to his right-hand side. Try and chip over the top. That was an old school Des Hasler set, if you've ever seen one. That harks back to some of the dark days when he was in charge of the Bulldogs towards the end of his tenure. That was a very conservative set.
Gee, it was a terrible kick there from Marty Tapau too. Would have been better off just tucking the ball up and turning it over on the goal line. It was a shocker. Tried a little chip over the top. I thought he was in under 8s.
The set began just outside the 20 and it never got beyond the tram lines, 20 in from either touchline.
I'll tell you what I did like from that set too was Turbo just trying to get himself involved in the game. Some different plays right next to the ruck.
Spread here for the Dogs as they head out towards Brent Naden, working outside Matt Burton on that left edge for the Bulldogs. Burton will get to dummy half. Marshall King finds Jackson. There's around him saying, just take a settler here while we get ourselves sorted. Good chance now either side of the play the ball to put something on. His right edge, Jack Hetherington standing. He's won himself a home on the right edge for Trent Barrett in 2022 as Marshall King comes back through Jackson. Wakeham tips it on. Burton now with room to move. Puts it on the floor. Juggled. Lost by Harper. Still there for the Bulldogs. Taken dead by Manly.
Gee, they've been dodgy, haven't they, with little grubber kicks in and behind. Just real tentative to try and clean up. Harper, the ball bounced, and then it bounced off Josh Adokar's head. Tom Trbojevic back there to clean up, but gee, they've been sloppy.
Harper was going to bring it down there, and the ball came off the head of Josh Adokar in the motion of tackling him, and it wasn't forced by Tom Trbojevic. So a great kick by Matt Burton. What a weapon that boot has become. Rubbering goal line dropout. Goes down to Aaron Schopp. He'll bring it back here. Played inside the Seagulls 30-metre line. Some tension on the ground there from Reuben Garrick. Well, he might have forced a mistake. In fact, there will be a penalty for the effort here of Garrick, who was trying to really force the issue there as far as the groundwork was concerned once the tackle was completed. The ruling is there was a Manly foot which helped the ball come loose.
Yeah, it come from the touch judge too. He's the one that said that there was a foot involved. They're going to go for touch here and keep the pressure on. Why wouldn't they? They've cut this Manly side up a couple of times only early in this game. Real passive in defence, the Manly team. The second and third man in aren't hitting hard enough.
Has been the case against both the Panthers and the Roosters over the first couple of weeks for the Seagulls. Pangai Jr. just outside the 10. Stuttering start. Now Wakeham for Dufty. He went past Parker, puts a kick in. It's there for Braden Burns. Playing on the wing today. He scores a terrific play on this right-hand side by the Bulldogs.
Just talking about the Manly side with their passive defence, just have a look how they don't come up, sprint up and put pressure on. It was brilliant play from Dufty. Just a grubber kick in and behind and a perfect bounce for Braden Burns. But look how passive they are. Come up, they stop, they wait, they have a look and see what the opposition's doing. A little bit of footwork there from Dufty. The kick in and behind Garrick. And Burns gets another try.
Watch it again. Dufty summed it up beautifully. So he got in behind there with Parker coming up empty, jamming in. He pays a heavy price at not getting to the ball carrier and stopping him. And then the bounce just had to be perfect for Burns. It was set up nicely for him as he dives into the in-goal area. And it's all the Bulldogs here at 4 Pines Park on the Northern Beaches. They lead 8-0.
Yeah, off the back of another silly penalty too. Just the foot in and around the play the ball from Reuben Garrick. But passive defence from the Seagulls, not really used to that. The opposition's attacking your line. You can't go up passive and stop and wait and look what they're going to do. And just a little bit of footwork there from Matt Dufty. And Parker just threw the arm out. And then the grubber kick and they score.
They've had issues on either side of the field defensively to begin this season. The Seagulls, and they have remained here today. Began with being unable to clean up the kick from this man. They got the dropout, then the penalty. And off the back of it, the Bulldogs, they can pay again. From the sideline, Burton trying to bend it back. Oh, he almost hit the upright a second time. It shaves it. It stays at 8-0. Jimmy Hooper.
Braden Burns has had an opportunity at a couple of clubs now, Warren, previously at South Sydney. his career's just been checkered with a variety of different injuries, but today he's got an opportunity on the Bulldogs' right wing since he shifted to Belmore. He's really starting to find his groove. He's been one of their best over the opening 3 weeks, and he's actually playing on the right wing today, one of 2 changes that Coach Trent Barrett made. He obviously decided to drop Jake Averillo to bring in Brandon Wakeham, and then also Jaden Ockenbaugh, Braden Burns on the right wing, and Aaron Shop in the centres.
Exactly as they're lining up. Burns grabbing the second 4-pointer today for the Bulldogs. They lead 8 points to 0, 16 gone here in our second game on the Sunday ticket live on Fox League as Shop comes in for a carry. He'll play it there, got a bump from Croker, play on Marshall King. He's running last week, and that narrow loss to the Broncos was terrific out of dummy half, and he picks up big meters right there again.
And then on the back of it too, we see Dufty go into dummy half and make an extra 15 metres upfield. Playing the game at a different pace as the Seagulls really struggle defensively. They haven't really dominated any tackles yet.
Yeah, it's Burton again who just launches another one. Tom Trbojevic adjusting, a tough one to take. He comes in sliding, makes a very good catch. Boy, Jason Saab looked at Tom Trbojevic and said,
yours.
I want nothing to do with that, Tom. It's all yours.
The good thing about Burton is the way he mixes his kicking game up too. So he's going to keep him guessing the back 3 for Manly.
We'll work it away here and try and do so without incident. Beyond full time here on the Sunday ticket. Stay with us because we have Sunday night with Matty John, special guest Latrell Mitchell off the back of the Rabbitohs' big win Friday night against the Roosters. Now Parker down the left-hand side. He's got Garrick going with him. Burns slipped over. Tom Trbojevic back on the inside. That's how you get the party started. Turbos on the board in 2022, and the Seagulls have their first points here today.
Yeah, he did so well too to skip up that sideline. Reuben Garrick didn't have much room to work in, but then Tommy Turbo comes with support. It's a long-range try for Manly. We saw him score so many last season. Just got him for numbers there. Parker did well, straightened up, got the ball on the Garrick. Missed tackle there from Burns. He couldn't readjust. There they go. The Manly side are in.
Doing the pivot roll again, tipping on. Jake Trbojevic was there, and then Parker hit it at speed. Garrick summed up and throws it always. A very nice ball back on the inside. He's a very good finisher as far as working out when to draw and pass, and he hit Tom Trbojevic right on the chest with a lovely ball right there. And that's a sight for sore eyes here on the Northern Beaches at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked like they got him for numbers again. On the right-hand side, the defence from the Bulldogs got done for numbers, straight through Parker. Beautiful pass to Reuben Garrick, and as you said, got that ability to pass the ball nicely back on the inside. Perfectly timed pass. Manly get one back.
And if Reuben Garrick, who supplied that nice ball back on the inside for Tom Trbojevic, can convert here, they'll trail by just the 2. And it feels like the Bulldogs have dominated the opening quarter of this game. Around about 15 to the left-hand side of the post. Shouldn't be a tough one, despite the greasy conditions with the rain not really easing off at the moment. Still falling, but nothing like it was at the beginning of the game. A very methodical approach from Garrick. He eventually moves in. He gets the flags in the air. It's a 2-point ball game. The great Ken Arco Arthurson watching on here. The back of the brand new Bob Fulton stand at the northern end of Four Pines Park. Premiership winner from the early 70s as well there. Peter Peters, likewise the great Max Krilich is up there as well.
What a champion. Captain of the Kangaroos in 78, Max Krilich, and also a good mate of ours, Peter Peters. He'll be enjoying that, the new stand. Great mate of theirs, Bobby.
Great spot to see Tom Trbojevic pouring down the field towards them, that's for sure. Burton with the restart, right up against the sideline. Did he have a foot on the line? Well, it looked either he had a foot on the line there, Trbojevic, or caught it, then put a foot on the line. Either way, it was very close.
He looked like he checked himself too when he caught the ball. To give himself up. Listen to see it again if we can.
Hold it, Jack.
I'll play it here. Let's take a look at this again and see just how close to the line. Oh, boy, maybe a stud. So close there to giving away possession, Tom Trbojevic. He knew what he had to do, but just couldn't quite reach, and certainly he caught the ball before the foot would have hit the line. Here's Parker again. They come back out to the left-hand side, testing out Brandon Wakeham. His combination with Aaron Schopp and Braden Burns. Was there a knock on there? Yes, there was.
And an early change for the Seagulls too. Dylan Walker just had that little bit of spark. Martin Tapau was off. After a meek start from him. So Walker on. Desi Hazard has made the change early. Another knock on from the Seagulls after points.
A chance for the Bulldogs to come back at them. Wait and see how long, depending on what happens today, quite obviously, Brandon Wakeham retains his role in the halves here, playing alongside Matt Burton after 2 games. Jake Averillo, despite the win in round 1 and then that narrow loss last week to the Broncos when they went down 16 points to 10. In fact, the man in question here getting a bit of attention. Vaseline on it, maybe a cut just below the nose and above the lip on that right-hand side. But he's had some chances in the past. Brandon Wakeham playing game number 22 here today. Played 7 games at 5/8 last season. We'll see how many he chalks up in this new season. Josh Jackson it is. Going nowhere here. The Bulldogs sloppy plays to begin off the change of possession. Look of daggers over his shoulder there from Josh Jackson. Paul Vaughan gets them going in the right direction. They'll play it for Marshall King. Dufty at first receiver. In fact, back on the inside of Josh Jackson there, who keeps going to the left-hand side. They bypass the fullback. 2 plays remaining in the set. Here's Jackson again. Wakeham. Nothing happening there. Bit of a miscommunication. I think that they thought there was a kick coming in there, both Dufty and also Hetherington. We'll go back to Burton. There'll be definitely a kick here when he gets it in his hands at the back end of the set. Going up, Saab puts it down. Oh, a chance. The Bulldogs had a golden chance again on yet another Seagulls mistake.
Well, I think he's going to be peppered all game, hasn't he? Jason Saab, not great under the high ball. Again, they put pressure on him. Naden this time just couldn't scoop the ball up.
That was Corey Waddell coming through, who went into submarine mode to try and scoop it up and score in the one motion. Dropped his lollies, but they will get the ball back off the error from Jason Saab, who has been bombarded at will by teams so far this year.
And it'll continue here this afternoon. That's a side that Burton is aiming all his kicks at. We come away with a couple of errors. Great opportunity now. Only 10 metres out, the Dogs. They'll be pretty confident and scored in this set.
Take the scrum from the 20-metre line on that far side of the field, the eastern side of Four Pines Park here. Some of the teams bring it midfield for an option either side. Jack Hetherington hurt himself here. I think maybe that left shoulder got really worked over as he went down in an awkward fashion there. Going to brace himself for impact with this pristine turf. He might have hurt that left shoulder. I'll play it. Go to the left-hand side. Wakeham hitting at speed. Waddell stopped by Ola Kawatu, who just cuts his legs from underneath him. Here is Pangai Jr. trying to back his way in. Grabbed there by Dylan Walker, who replaced Marty Tapau a couple of sets ago. Goes back to Wakeham. Feigned a kick. Look at his right-hand side. Manly had plenty of numbers there, so he hangs on to it. 4 plays gone in this set from close range. Jackson for Burton. Out the back it goes. Waddell shifts it on. It comes to Addo Carr. Still searching for his first try as a Bulldog. He's only a couple of metres out. Last tackle. It's Burton. They came up quickly on him. Walker put some pressure on. Drilled at Lachlan Croker, who did very well not to knock that on.
Yeah, he did enormously well to take that ball. He would have been panicking as it was coming to him because it was struck beautifully, nice and hard and low. Lachlan Croker did well.
Final game of this third round in the Telstra Premiership for 2022. Warren Smith, Steve Roach, James Hooper. And all the action live right here on Fox League on the Sunday Ticket. It's shaped up to be a very close affair, and that's exactly what we've got. Good catch again, and that kick along the surface by Lachlan Croker. Here's Parker. Left there by Wakeham, who's been left on the ground behind the play. Still on his haunches. A chance down this left-hand side. The kick from Andrew Davey. Away from the sideline. Addo Carr is back there. He thought about passing to Dufty and then said, no, I'll just go to ground and take the tackle.
They're having trouble with their right-hand defence, aren't they? The Bulldogs again. Wakeham come away with the missed tackle. Just getting back in the field of play now.
Now, a whistle here, and this might well be for a head injury assessment.
Get out there, Jeremy.
More of an advice from the independent doctor as to Brandon Wakeham, who may well have an issue subsequently. We'll wait and see what they do make of that and the bunker, with the independent doctor coming into play a number of times again in round 3. Luke Thompson is out there for the Bulldogs, so Trent Barrett rings the changes. They've made a couple now. Wakeham still with the trainer at close hands. Not convinced he's out there for too much longer. Burton stopped here. Last play inside their own 30. Wakeham has to kick. Cherry Evans was there to put pressure on him. Not a deep one. It'll bounce up here for Tom Trbojevic, and a real win for the Seagulls here in that last offensive set, and they get a penalty for some high contact.
Yeah, attacked the football that time. That was some good defence there from the Manly side after we saw Lawton kick the ball downfield. And the Fox had cleaned it up. Here's the high contact. Manly straight away on the attack. They've warmed into this game. They're behind by the 2 points. They're having a field day. Their left-hand side attack. And the Bulldogs have been ordinary on their right side defence. Let's see if they go there again. He's having a field day, isn't he, Parker?
And the trainer here still in company with Brandon Wakeham, and surely he has to come from the field. I think the trainer was insisting that that will be the case. He looked unsteady on his feet for a number of plays there in that previous set. Wait and see whether he can pass the HIA. So there'll be a change here with Bailey Biondi-Odo coming on for the Bulldogs. Oh, there's a little head clash there. That did the damage on Brandon Wakeham.
He copped a little bit of a boot the time before too, so copped the heel of the boot. So not a great afternoon so far for the young fella.
Not the return to the NRL that he was hoping for here today. The Seagulls have it. Ola Kawatu, who was a man on a mission defensively in that previous set. He was looking for a victim. Now Walker in his middle third role. A couple of years ago, couldn't believe that Dylan Walker could be the first replacement in the game, replacing Marty Tapau. Here is Davey. He'll play it 10 away from the Bulldogs line. Croker jumps out of dummy half. Jake Trbojevic going with him. Takes an enormous amount of stopping. He ends up on his back, and they'll hold him up there to save a try.
Yeah, it's held up there. Jake will be trying to get up to his feet and get back in the position and play the ball as quick as he can.
Hold here.
I'll go right. There is Cherry Evans. Cut out ball. Good defence there again on that left edge by Addo Carr. Great stop. Now Tom Trbojevic back to the corner. Going to catch them out. Eastern touchline. They'll play it here. One more for Manly. Cherry Evans will kick back towards the corner. A chance for Jason Saab to return fire. Makes the catch. They wrap him up though. The ball comes free.
Gee, that was good play because Addo Carr was caught in field at marker. So straight away the crossfield kick. Smart play there from the Manly side.
Play the ball middle. Play the ball. Play the ball, Jack.
It is going to be Bulldogs position. Just waiting for confirmation there from the referee, who got advice from his touch judge as to the way the ball came free here. Burton, you can see it there, not played out by a Bulldog defender as Saab tried to pass. He was on the flat of his back. And now the Seagulls jump the gun. A penalty for offside will help out the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just trying to bridge up now, the Manly side, but a bit too quick off the mark. Jake Trbojevic trying to lead the way.
Back to the notepad goes Des Hasler. I think you see a lot of improvement today, quite obviously, on what they've shown against the Panthers and the Roosters through the first couple of rounds. I guess maybe on the edge of a pass mark, given what we've seen, but to be very unhappy with the way they have coughed up possession inside their own 20, failing to clear those kicks from Burton a couple of times now. Here is King. They'll play it just into Manly territory. Marshall King comes back for Jackson. Not much happening through the middle there as they compress defensively the Seagulls. Now beyond Yoda for Duffy. 3-on-3. Pass is very late there. The pass looks forward and has been called as such.
Yeah, I think it was a fair call there too. Just a little bit of indecision from the Bulldogs. The last 10 minutes have been sloppy.
How are we?
Out the short side again.
Okay, clock's on. Scrum in the middle.
They've lost their way a little bit in some of those sets, especially from their own end. On the previous set, they survived somehow, and now Duffy ran himself into a dead end, just didn't take the tackle.
It's a little bit of slow motion. The first two passes. A little more crisper than that. That's why the error was made.
Better presentation, mate, okay?
Oh, they pack the scrum. Let's go back downstairs to James Hooper.
The Bulldogs enforcer Jack Hetherington has just come off the field and gone straight up the tunnel. Warren appears to be a left shoulder issue. We saw him reel out of a tackle a couple of sets ago. So we'll keep you updated on that one. And just keep an eye on Bailey Biondi Odo. He gets his opportunity with Brandon Wakeham off for an HIA. He's from Billy Slater country, was Innisfail up in far north Queensland. Overlooked by the Broncos, overlooked by the Cowboys. Gets a start with the Bulldogs.
And here they go, the Seagulls down that right-hand side. Thanks for that, James.
Touch.
Saw Jack Hetherington go down and clutch that left shoulder.
Touch. Play the ball
in
where
attack
like it. We've got to
some
play
minutes
the ball.
ago, so that's a blow. So they're down to 15 at the moment, the Bulldogs. Still just 10 minutes out from half-time, so a lot of game time left here today. The ball went to ground off a Bulldog. So Manly will bring it back midfield and begin with a new set. It's Paseka. And we'll take it forward to the edge of the Bulldogs 20, in fact.
Wait here, boys. Wait for it.
Waits for slow play the ball. Goes through the hands of Walker. Cherry Evans, Tom Travojevic, cut down there by Braden Burns. Almost created something there, the Seagulls. Now Cherry Evans had a dummy half. But Burns wasn't square at Marcus. Had to be a set restart at worst for the Seagulls. The referee disagrees. Now the ball comes free. And that's going to be ruled lost.
Well, that should have been a penalty.
I've got lost ball, but you can challenge it if you want.
They should have got a penalty on the previous play where Burns was nowhere near being square at marker nor being back
He
at
went
10.
to the side.
And we'll see what they make of how the ball came free here.
They're going to challenge it, say that it was right.
Manly are challenging the lost ball in the ruck.
Lucky not to get a penalty just
check, mate,
10 seconds earlier. Let's see if there's a hand on the ball here.
Offside first?
Well, he went to the side, so...
All okay from this angle at the moment. And the ball comes free there.
There's no stripping action from Bulldogs. It's a loose carry from Manly. Challenge is unsuccessful.
Cherry Evans it is that comes away with that loose carry.
No more captain's challenges, Ailey. Okay. Where do you want it? Okay, we're going in the middle.
And that's the eighth error to the Manly side.
It's going downhill.
Early in this game, in the first half, only 3 from the Bulldogs. So Manly their own worst enemy so far after a slow start.
Their challenge is done for the day. They've completed 11 sets out of 16 total sets. The Bulldogs 16 from 18, which is pretty good going, given the conditions quite obviously at the beginning of this affair here on the northern beaches. Beyond Yodo with the scrum feed. Go out to Corey Waddell, who had an absolute barnstormer last week, it has to be said, against the Broncos. He was everywhere, ran for massive metres.
Right here, Andrew. Hold out, marker.
Up against his old club here today, a former Seagull. Familiar territory now at Okar. Bouncing away there from Owakawatu. Nothing doing. See if they can find some impetus here. Need a couple of good carries to get things going. They battled from this point of the field in recent sets. Marshall King stopped there by Jake Travojevic. Duffy gets the dummy half. Runs into the very large frame of Taniela Paseka. Still pinches another 5 or 6 metres though. Good work in the end. And the diminutive fullback, it's Burton who puts it up. He kicks towards Saab. He won't get anywhere near it. In fact, it comes off the body of Morgan Harper. What was he thinking? He says, I didn't plan it. Morgan had hit you on the full. You were moving towards the ball. It's King who takes it down 10 metres out. Seagulls, they need a net out there for the back three, or the back five, in fact, at the moment. Jackson, give them all a big fishing net to try and catch those bombs. In front of the uprights, new set with a restart. Burton off that left foot. He goes left again. You see it all the time on that left-hand side of the field. And now there'll be a penalty. Tom Trbojevic doesn't like the call. He thought there was no mark. Nobody there at dummy half, in fact, and he was okay to jump on that ball from marker. Instead, Ben Cummins says, no, that'll be a Dogs penalty. Watch this again. Morgan Harper. Take me through this blocker.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking here. He looked like he looked over his shoulder and then thought, I'd go for it. Come off his thigh. Talking about opposition's gifting team's field position.
Comes back to that old... It's very much a modern thing in the game, it seems, at the moment. Players taking their eyes off the ball and their job. He's thinking, my job here is if I'm not catching it, I'm going to tackle somebody who does catch it, if they happen to be wearing blue and white. So he takes his eyes off the ball and the ball hits him.
Although that one looked like he was waiting for someone else to do it. And that's what happens. Looking over his shoulder, waiting for someone else to take the ball on the full. And had to readjust, didn't even get his hands anywhere near the ball.
It might cost his team 2 points here. Burton is 0 for 2. The 2 conversion attempts he's had so far here this afternoon. As we head into the early evening. Good crowd on hand despite the conditions around in Sydney again this afternoon. The ball comes off the tee. Promises to be a low-scoring affair, doesn't it, given the slippery nature of the turf this afternoon after all the rain. So these points, some of these kickable ones, as it was on the first occasion when Wakeham scored, needs to get this one, and he does. Burton adds another 2 points. The Bulldogs edge away. They lead here 10 points to 6. 6 minutes out from half-time in our second game on the Sunday ticket. We are stronger together, and rugby league is one of the most culturally diverse sports in Australia and New Zealand. There's 111 players across the NRL and NRLW comps who are born overseas, and a further 196 players have either a mother or a father born overseas. So multicultural round is certainly worth celebrating. Wherever you arrived from, we are stronger together. There is the headphones going on for Brandon Wakeham. That is a nasty cut that he took to both lips. Collision with the boot earlier in the game, and that's a good sign that he's back on the bench. I dare say he's passed his HIA.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks like he's getting some orders too down there from Trent Barrett. They haven't really had to play much football yet, the Bulldogs, and they're in front on the scoreboard 10-6. They look a little bit more slicker with the ball, but the Bulldogs are ready for a grind by the look of it.
Paseka screamed at by the referee for being offside there. Didn't get involved in the play. Offload for the Bulldogs. Beyond Yodo plays it. Marshall King through Burton. Goes across to Corey Waddell on that left edge. Just beyond the Dogs 40. 25 here. Jackson taking it forward. Dufty back on the inside, but he hangs on to it. I'll go back to Burton to bomb away once again. How does this one turn out? Tom Trbojevic puts his hand in the air early, says, I've got it. Jason Saab is there with him, and they'll stop him just outside the 20, but they might have got him high as they made the tackle.
It looks like he's got a target on his head here, the Savo. Not only taking the high bombs, but the Bulldogs are giving away a couple of penalties on him. Just Addo Carr just throwing the lazy arm out, caught him just as he tried to cut back in field.
No complaints from the Fox. He realised he cuffed Jason Saab, his direct opponent on the far side of the field in this first half. So Olakuwatu, they begin here just inside their own 40, 4 out from the break. Dylan Walker with those day-glow orange boots takes it into enemy territory. Croker counting numbers from dummy half, comes across to Kieran Foran. Davies shows it. Speaking of Queenslanders, hails from up north as well. A chance here with the Seagulls after making his NRL debut with the Eels as Travojevic will play it from the 20. Croker goes to Walker. Here is Cherry Evans. He hangs onto it, does a full 360. Comes back to Croker. He puts a kick in. Now it's a race. Oh, Croker almost got there in time. Was cleaned up eventually by Braden Burns. It was almost a triangulation of fire between Marshall, King, Burns and Dufty. They were all looking at each other. Eventually it was the winger who came up with it.
Yeah, had a little bit of luck with his kicking game so far, hasn't he? The number 9 in Croker. And that was well cleaned up there by Burns. Timed it beautifully. A great chase through, kick and chase. The Bulldogs again struggling to get off their own line. Burton with the kick downfield.
From deep inside his own territory, he was thinking 40-20 there, didn't quite have the angle. He has a massive boot, so the distance, even from well inside his own 40, was never going to be an issue for him. But the Seagulls again rolling up their sleeves from their own end, though. Good tactics today. Harper. Skipping off the left foot. Oh, firing a pass here and giving it straight to Biondi-Odo. He's had an absolute Barry Crocker in the last 5 minutes, has the Lionel Richie impersonator.
Well, they're not helping themselves. That's their 10th error so far, the Manly side, as opposed to 3 from the Bulldogs. Just trying to throw the miracle ball. They've done that a couple of times. Gifted again the Dogs' field position. Are they good enough to make them pay?
Good ball there from Biondi-Odo to Corey Waddell cutting back against the grain. Now Marshall King at a dummy half. Almost ghosts his way in behind them. Eventually stopped by Walker and also Croker. They'll head left. Burton takes them on himself. He gets tackled again. The play before the kick. It's happened a few times now. Biondi-Odo, though, rubbering back in behind them. Nobody knew it was coming, so there were no chases as a result. In fact, Burton was offside, having just played the ball. He was well in front of the kick.
And he's had to clean up again at the back. Kawatu. And again now. Will find touch this time. That's a good kick downfield.
And they will have the last say here before half-time. Time for a full set here, James Hooper.
Just confirming, Warren, Brandon Wakeham has passed that HIA test, is currently up and about on the sidelines, so he will be back out for the second half.
We'll wait and see if he starts with a Biondi-Odo, who's looked pretty sharp, it has to be said. He's offered a fair bit since coming on in replacement of Brandon Wakeham, but if he stays out there, it will cost them an interchange, so we'll see what happens to begin the second half. Tom Travojevic coasting sideways at the moment, runs beyond a couple of Bulldogs in the middle. Max King couldn't foot it with him. Eventually it was Burton and Naden who wrapped him up. Kawatu take it down here just outside the 20. They've used up 3 plays. Walker goes to forward, players in motion over the top. Ruben Garrick for the corner. A terrific ball. The Harbour Bridge play from Foran to Garrick.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass, wasn't it, over the top. Garrick just took off a lot quicker than what I thought he was. He just sprinted away, didn't he? And what a great finish right on the stroke of half-time. The Manly side score. As I said, they've looked a bit sharper attacking-wise when they've had the ball. The Bulldogs have been a little bit pedestrian with the amount of ball they've had. And Foran with the pass over the top. That's just great vision. Perfectly timed. Burns caught in field. Just had only eyes for Tommy Travojevic there. And a free run, free passage there for the wing three-quarter in Garrick. He scores a try. What a spectacular finish.
Grabs his first 4-pointer of this 2022 season as well. It's a fine line in the NRL. The Bulldogs pressing at the other end of the field. Come up with a poor play on the last, give away a penalty off the back of it. Big kick for line from Cherry Evans, puts Manly on the front foot, and they make the Bulldogs pay by grabbing 4 points. Seconds, literally seconds out from half-time.
Yeah, again, it's the right-hand defence. Caught in no man's land again. Burns. That's where the Manly side and their points have come from, or their tries anyway. A little bit more effort going into this kick from Garrick. He scored as a try, so we'll be putting a little bit more into this one.
And the last play of this opening 40 minutes. Ruben Garrick amazingly, with the chance to put the Seagulls in front. It seems remarkable given the mistakes they've made in this first half. The strike is a good one. It'll go over the black dot, in fact. Yes, you Manly fans, you can push it up because your side leads at the break at halftime here at 4 Pines Park. Manly 12, the Bulldogs 10.
But they've got it all to do now, the Bulldogs. They played all the better football in the first half and go in at half-time behind on the scoreboard. So Manly would be happy scoring right on that stroke of half-time and would be pretty confident of going on with this one.
It was this man who's applied the big kick for penalty from their own end to get them some free metres, and they scored off the back of it with that last play of the opening 40. The couch grass, the brand new perfect couch grass here, is so spongy and so soft blocking you can't get the ball to sit nicely on the tee there.
Yeah, the other big problem too is when it bounces, it doesn't really bounce that high too. A lot of players were allowing the ball, not catching it on the full in that first half. I reckon the coaches would have spoken about that too. Attacking those high balls. Here we go.
We are back underway. Feels like an important 40 minutes, especially for the home side, quite obviously winless in 2022 so far. We have a narrow lead here at the break and some strong defence here in this opening set of 6. Bulldogs with some injury worries from the first half. Jack Hetherington off with a shoulder problem. And Brendan Wakeham also undergoing an HIA. We'll wait and see if he returns in the opening minutes of this second half. Marshall King drops out of dummy half. Minimal metres here. It is Burton to do the clearing kicking on the last. And it's an end-over-end one, bit of a wobbly one down at Jason Saab. Gets a comfortable catch, though, on the chest coming forward. And he would have enjoyed that, having a bit of an issue once again tonight with his hands. They begin just on their own side of halfway. Speaking of issues with hands, Morgan Harper certainly falls into that category after the opening 40.
Yeah, not a bad one for your confidence booster to get in the first part of the second half. It wasn't a great kick there from Burton. Saab cleaned it up nicely. And there's a good run through the middle. Just starting to look a little bit loose there.
Paseka with a nice carry, playing it now. Drake Trbojevic to brother Tom. Away from the advancing Aaron Schopp. But the help from the middle is able to round him up with King there and also Patola. Back to Cherry Evans. He'll hoist it into the air. Dufty standing underneath it, a scramble for the ball. Dylan Walker was thereabouts, cleaned up in the end by Brendan Wakeham, who is out there now to begin this second half, and it will be a restart here for a knock-on by the Seagulls as they work it away from their own 20. Let's go downstairs for a half-time report from James Hooper.
If the Bulldogs are going to cause a major upset, Warren, then they're going to have to do it without Jack Hetherington. They're officially down to only 16 players for the remainder of the match. Partial dislocation of that left shoulder. You can see him there in the dugout in a sling already. I'll tell you what, he's a brave bugger, Jack Hetherington, because he did that very early in the opening half. Played on for about 15 minutes.
On a carry inside the Manly 20 as well. He went down and then braced himself, trying to play the ball quickly, and that shoulder quite obviously a little bit of a subluxation as they call it. Now Burton, Dufty, play on here, touched by Manly, 6 more tackles coming up. Dufty loses his footing, but they're deep on the attack, just outside the Seagulls 20. Marshall King from dummy half carries it inside the red zone, and here are the Bulldogs looking to hit back on this side of half-time, having conceded one. In search of a 4-pointer here as Thompson will play it. Marshall King looking to the right, going there. Comes through Wakeham. Dufty looking back to the inside. Nothing happening for the fullback, so he'll play it. With 2 plays remaining. From Marshall King. Goes to Jackson. There's Wakeham. Burton tipped on there. Good hands. Play on. No, in fact, called forward. The tip on there. Brett Naden. Josh Adokar, despite the players wanting to go on with things, the whistle had been blown, or certainly if they try to blow it, either way, it's a forward pass by the Bulldogs.
They look a little bit pedestrian, don't they? Trying to tap on Adokar into open space. And the cover defence came across from the Manly team. The ball's been called back, gone forward. Marshall King probably is the most dangerous player out of dummy half for the Bulldogs so far. So their attack's been really limited.
As we're probing again tonight. Some good metres at times as well. That's 50 metres on 7 runs of the ball. He's been very proactive. Manly hang on. They have the scrum feed here. Reuben Garrick, who scored that try just before the break. If you're just joining us, 2 tries apiece. Goal kicking at the moment, the difference. Great conversion by Reuben Garrick of his own try. Gives us our score line of 12-10, not quite 5 gone. In this second stanza, as Walker plays it, it goes to Jake Trbojevic. He's punched up towards the halfway line, stopped here by King and also Jackson. Tom Trbojevic, one off the ruck on this right-hand side. They get a set restart as well for the effort from the Bulldogs. End the play the ball. Danger signs here for the visitors. As Jake Trbojevic goes to foreign. Cherry Evans on his outside. Goes straight into a hole. Runs towards Duffy. Slips over in doing so. He'll play it here 10 metres out. From dummy half. Foreign takes them on. Wakeham under pressure, so was Duffy. Well, offside the Bulldogs, there was something untoward
leave it,
there.
Leave it.
And a support player, it's Tom Trbojevic, who stays on the ground. Now the boys.
Just hanging on to his ribs there too, Tommy. Might have been hit on suspicion.
Andrew, take him away. Walk that way.
It's going to be the penalty for the contact here on Tom Trbojevic. The nature of it will be interesting.
Just tried to reload back on that blind side too. Quick play the ball. There he is. Just hit without the ball. Shop it is. He comes away with the tackle. Right up under the ribs.
Aaron Shop there. Got to mark your man. Tom Trbojevic, if he's running towards you, 5 metres out from the line, got to put your body on the line. Unfortunately, he gives away a penalty, though, in this situation. It's Paseka to play it. Along the right-hand side for Walker at the line. Olakau'atu bumping, dispensing with defenders. Almost forces his way in. From Croker, quick hands, Cherry Evans. Held up there by Jackson. He comes again, drags him down from behind. Still gets the ball away, though, does DCE. Comes back to Foreign. He takes them on, grabbed by King. And they're still just inside the Bulldogs' 10. Midway through this set. Trying to extend their lead. Walker goes to Tom Trbojevic. Good defence here by Aaron Shop. Got to him a number of times. Now back through the middle. It's the defensive line. Walker hands it off for Olakau'atu. Again, is a real handful. A big, strong back rower he is. 2 more plays remaining. Croker has a dart from dummy half. And now a set restart once again. The ruck infringement from the Bulldogs. The pressure remains on Canterbury here. Second restarting in this possession. Cherry Evans at the back. Harper under pressure from Addo-Carr. Flick pass. Saab knocks it backwards. The Bulldogs appealed for a knock on. It was definitely backwards. Off the hands of the long, lanky winger. Croker. He gives it off. Here is Paseka. Good tackle there underneath him. Jeremy Marshall-King. Doing it on both sides of the ball. Play on here, not touched by the Bulldogs. Comes back to Cherry Evans, who kicks out wide. Over the head of Addo-Carr. A clean bowl. Jason Saab.
Yeah, just the bounce of the ball there. The idea was right. Addo-Carr caught in field again for the Bulldogs.
Here now, here.
Perfectly weighted. Just the bounce of the ball. Look where Addo-Carr is in field. It hit the ground and then skidded away. Well, lucky to hang on there. Well done from the Bulldogs. A couple of sets they had to defend. Now they get a penalty.
Wait there.
And that is an enormous effort to hang on for all those tackles in a row. That was an awful bounce, wasn't it, for Jason Saab? Off a point, just ran along the ground. When you're 8'3", it's hard to get down that low and take that one. I'm expecting it to be a mully grubber.
That was a tough take. I don't think he could have done any better than he did. Harper just with the trainer at the moment. If the Bulldogs will work a couple in and then go straight to him. He's injured a foot by the look of it.
Pengai Jr. playing it. See what the Bulldogs have got left in attack here after all that effort on their own line. Voivich up in the front line there, a long way from his own goal line. Here is Luke Thompson. Looking for a quick play the ball. Supplies one as well. Marshall King goes to Max King. Dumps it out the back to Marshall King. It's all the Kings. Wakeham. Kings wild. Full hand blocker of Kings.
I'll hold.
Marshall King. Just to complete the full house. Here is Dufty on the right-hand side. Tolo chopped down there. A good tackle by Davey. Comes back to Pengai Jr. Wakeham out the back. Burton. So a kick in there by Naden. It was rather pedestrian again once, wasn't it? It was just slow, the service there. Nothing really developing for the Bulldogs. So Naden in the end just puts a kick in that goes into touch.
I thought those conditions would have suited Pengai Jr. a lot better than what he's played. Big, powerful runner. We see on the other side of the field, Mola Kawatu's really had an impact for the Manly side. Martin Tapau coming back on for Manly.
After full time Sunday night with Matty Johns, live from the Clive Churchill studio. Special guest tonight, Rabbitohs fullback Latrell Mitchell. Made plenty of headlines in the build-up to the clash. The rematch with the Roosters on Friday nights. Smiling this time, Latrell, after getting across the line for a try and getting a win against his old club. On the couch tonight with the boys. Tom Trbojevic. Inside ball there from Marty Tapau, who's back on deck. Croker grabbed by the markers. They were square, says Ben Cummins, the referee. Good hands here by Foran. Wakeham in his face. Shot is there. Had visions of picking him up and taking him onto the hill for a little siesta. Instead, he plays it 40 out. Not that ball there for Cherry Evans. He had to wait for it. Kick goes into no man's land. Dufty comes forward. We'll skip to the outside there of Ola Kawatu. Now there's some numbers. Here's the Fox. The Fox up against the Saab. Turns him inside out. Links up with Naden. Cuts back to the middle. Taken down there. And a covering tackle by Ruben Garrick.
Gee, quickly handed the ball off there, the Fox. I thought he might have backed himself a little bit more there. Pass the ball back on the inside.
Braden Burns does turn it back on the inside here for Aaron Schopp, who straightens now. Yes, you'd love to have seen the Fox back himself and go one-on-one against Jason Saab. Two absolute speedsters. Thompson it is. Goes inside the 20. We've got 3 plays remaining here. Now Wakeham passes Vaughan. Burton off the left foot, then the right foot. Still can't put his nose through the line there in that situation. They've got him pegged at the moment. Vaughan. And a hit and spin, did so. Big Croker, wrapped up by Tapau though. The Bulldogs have one more. Trailing by 2 points. It comes across to Wakeham. Dufty off the right foot, dumps it out the back. It comes off a seagull backwards to another teammate on the ground, and they've hung on.
I just think he needs a bit of close support, Dufty. A dangerous player. Explodes onto the ball. No one really could keep up with him that time, but he's the most dangerous for the Bulldogs. While Walker, for the Manly side, looks pretty dangerous too himself. A little bit of footwork through that middle.
It is Marty Tapau. Lawton on deck now for the Seagulls. Change made by Des Hasler. Kawatu, the player coming from the field. Good tackle there by Brent Naden. Burton got there very late. There have easily been a penalty or a set restart there. It was, in fact. Confirmation now from the referee, Ben Cummins. Burton pays the price there for getting the tackled player way after he was tackled. Manly on the attack. No change to our half-time scoreline through just under 13 minutes of play here at Brookvale. Croker waiting for it. There's numbers down the short side. Cherry Evans trying to a little dipsy-doodle back underneath them. Comes here to the Seagulls, and Lawton will play it just outside the 30. Jake Travojevic gives it off to Kieran Fuller. And Wakeham came up very quickly. He was able to stay with him and make an important tackle. Croker, though, got a quick play the ball. Tom Travojevic taking them on as the rain comes down here again on the northern beaches. He'll play it on the last. Croker goes to Cherry Evans. At the line, the ball goes to ground. The Bulldogs have survived again.
Yeah, it just looked like he was in two minds that time, Cherry Evans, whether to grab a kick in and behind or throw the long pass over the top. Here's the Fox.
Big meters down this left-hand touchline once again. Fighting to get to his feet there, hoping there will be a penalty against Lawton. Referee disagrees, and now Pangai Jr. has it. Just short of the Bulldogs' 40. Got the impression the way this game is going, next scorer will go a long, long way to wrapping this up. Points, given the conditions, with the rain coming down again, so tough to come by. Wakeham here will kick in behind Ruben Garrick, who's on his bike. Picks it up here inside his own 10. Chopped down there by the kicker as well. Good work by Wakeham. And now Tom Travojevic. Brennan Wakeham, he surely wasn't square there at marker, and that should have been a restarting of the tackle count for the Seagulls.
Well, it sounded like he got a warning from the referee, but he didn't do anything about it.
Got involved a couple of times there.
Bullymore on two. This will suit his running style. It's a powerful runner, Bullymore, on for the first time in this game for Manly.
Yeah, these conditions, here he is now on this left-hand side, will suit him to a T. And they play it here, 45 out from the Bulldogs line. They go down the short side, the back end of the set of 6. Walker, a good ball there for Garrick, getting back to clean up. Great work by Tavita Pangai Jr. Trailing back with the play. There, a big effort to come up with possession with Seagulls jumpers all around him. Now a shift again to this left-hand side. Naden and Adokar, boy. Pass there to the Fox, and it was the Fox versus the Saab once again.
Yeah, good little bit of footwork there from Naden. He did well to hang on. The Fox, another dummy half run, trying to get him forward.
It is pouring again here. Brookvale once again. Was there a bit of work here on the back of the neck of Josh Adokar? Umbrella goes up and the rain jacket goes back on for James Hooper down there on the sideline. A tough night for sideline eyes, Jimmy.
Heavy 11 again, Warren, coming down in Cats and Dogs. And I tell you what, looks about there is a little bit of concern here for the Fox. Trainer out attending to him at the moment. Yeah, some serious concern by the looks of this.
Well, let's hope the Fox isn't foxing here, because you roll the dice if you stay on the ground and try and get a penalty which doesn't end up being a penalty. The independent doctor from the bunker could get involved, as we've seen a number of times this weekend, again blocker, and say you have to come from the field for a full HIA.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think he was just trying to get a penalty for a crusher tackle there on the back of the neck, the pressure on the back of the neck, but the Fox is up and running again.
Stand last one, make a Lachlan. Here. Go.
Dufty from dummy half. Wake two passes wide to Burton, no pressure on him. It's pouring here again at 4 Pines Park. Saab going backwards. He has to play it now. Here is Adokar. Saab brings it back just into the field of play, but they're wedged into a corner here. And the Bulldogs will be off their line looking for some big impacts. It's Harper who takes it forward.
Yeah, that's a lot better there from the Bulldogs. They've got to be careful not to give away a penalty and jump the gun here. Saab had no idea. I feel sorry for him in these sort of conditions. Great chase through there by the Fox.
3 tackles gone. Lawton does well from dummy half. He picks up the best part of 20 metres. That's a massive run from one of the fresh men on the field. Walker, he follows suit. They're out of trouble now to Powell. In fact, they go on the counter-attack. Numbers here on the left-hand side off 4 and hangs on to it. Bullymore was screaming for it on his outside. Walker to the line. Tom Travojevic pushing through, wants a bounce. It sits up though for Dufty. Luck is an absolute fortune in these conditions.
And I'll tell you what, he had to make the tackle because he attacked the ball, Dufty. Jake Travojevic there. Lucky he was there, got a hold of Dufty, otherwise he was gone.
And the bounce, a terrible one for the chasers there, including Turbo Tom, who was poised to pounce. And it's Waddell. He'll play it. Marshall King at a dummy half. Takes Aaron Shot with him across the halfway line. They keep coming back and asking questions here, the Bulldogs. They've used up plenty of gas defensively in the first 20 of this second half. They've lost it here, though, as the ball squirts free.
Yeah, that's always going to happen in these sort of conditions. You've got to wrap the ball up as best you can. Pangai Jr. it is, the ball. Just got hit under the ball. Look at that for torrential rain. It's getting heavier.
At some point, Blocker, it will stop raining in Sydney, won't it?
I hope so.
Do you remember the days when
there was sunlight?
The sun appeared? Such fond memories. I'm sure we'll see it again at some stage in the perhaps distant future.
What about the fans on the hill? They love their footy.
I mean, it's a monsoon suddenly here. It's as hard as it's rained at any point during the game now. Manly with this 2-point lead. That conversion from Garrick after the siren at half-time, that was absolute gold to give them this little buffer midway through the second half. It's Marty Tapau. Playing here 35 away from the Bulldogs line. Croker waiting for it. One way, coming back to the right-hand side. Canterbury-Bankstown onto Cherry Evans. More than half are going nowhere there. They lost their way and now they're out near the sideline. The back end of the set of 6. They'll bring it back midfield. Cherry Evans ask a forward to take a carry. In fact, they'll go with a long shift to the left-hand side. Tom Trbojevic up against Aaron Schopp. He's been great defensively, Aaron Schopp.
He's taken upon himself to make the tackles on Big Tommy. I can't believe the Manly side are going side to side with their attack.
Here is Foran. Garrick taken down there, chasing through. It'll be a penalty against the Bulldogs. This was completely unnecessary because I don't know that Garrick was going to get there to be a factor on a contest with the ball there as that came down. Aaron Schopp has hurt himself in making that tackle on Tom Trbojevic and has either a hand or a wrist problem. And they've got more problems here, the Bulldogs, in this next set of 6 with Manly on top of their line once again.
Gee, they're pretty confident, aren't they? Taking the tap.
Play it here. Through Sean Kepi, who's back out there. Dylan Walker off the field. Marshall King has went to sleep there on top of Sean Kepi. Here is Foran. Short ball off the hip. Tom Trbojevic still pushing. Players on top of him. That defence again. They've had him marked heavily, as did the Panthers and also the Roosters through the first couple of weeks. Tapau almost got away from Marshall King. Quick play the ball. Well, Waddell wasn't square at marker, so this will be 6 more. It is now confirmed by the referee. Weight of possession inside the 20 in the second half has been massive for Manly. Croker to the left. Here is Foran. First man option. Bullymore hit there on a great tackle. It was Wakeham with some help there from Patolo. Here's Tom Trbojevic again. Running into Paul Vaughan. They put the kitchen sink at Tom and then some. What a strong effort. He keeps putting his body on the line. They keep stopping him. Cherry Evans turns it back underneath for Carl Lawton. Comes to a dead stop. Nothing doing. So he says, I'll just try and motor my way to the line. He just about got there, you know. Boy, he's gone close to scoring. Stopped only just. To the left-hand side they go. Cut-out ball. Tom Trbojevic under pressure. Wore a shot in the ribs for his trouble as well.
The same that he knocked on too, the Bulldogs players. They didn't wait and ball watch Tommy that time. They just come up out of the line. And again, another rib tickler. He's in the wars, the big fella.
I think he did knock on, didn't he? They're going to say it's play on here for the Seagulls with 1 more to come, are they?
Tell you what, they've been under a raid, haven't they, in this second half. The Bulldogs have been relentless with their defence so far.
The last play here, Cherry Evans grubbers, awful one to handle. What a good catch that is.
What a take.
You believe that from Matt Duffy to come up with the ball, could have so easily knocked that on, and the Bulldogs, they just refuse to yield. Now they're going backwards though. There's trouble here. Naden under all sorts of pressure, and they will force a goal line dropout Manly.
Gee, that's a big play there from the Manly side to get up underneath. Here's the take there. Super glue on his hands at the back, Matt Duffy. He's been their best this afternoon, this evening. This could be the big play here. They've forced the line drop out. Here come Manly.
Now they're going backwards, though. There's trouble here. Yes, there was trouble there. There's no question about that. As the kick goes down to Jason Sabi, went 10 metres backwards. And even the turnbuckle couldn't stop him from going back into the in-goal area.
Release all the way, Paul. Straight to marker.
Well, in boxing mode today, Blocker, off the back of Tim Zoo's courageous win in Minneapolis against Terrell Gaucher.
They say it was some fight too.
That was great to see. He had to dig deep after being knocked down in the first round. The Bulldogs continue to dig deep here inside their own 20. Manly looking for potentially a knockout blow themselves. Just can't land one at the moment. Garrick playing it. Jake Travojevic. Oh, boy. Contact there. Davida Pengai Jr. That was careless, bordering on reckless.
Well, points to a premium. Would you take the shot at goal here? They have to, don't they?
So it takes you to a 4-point lead where you could just use up more tank the Bulldogs and really deplete their reserves and maybe put them away as well at the same time. Let's see what they do. They will tap it from just outside the 10. Seagulls are set on this right-hand side. A couple of tired teams out there getting these trying conditions. They're still coming down. It's eased off slightly for the moment. Jake Travojevic. Cherry Evans was there, so was Tom. Stop Turbo. On the other side of the field. We've had plenty of blue and white jumpers in front of him all night. Slowly back to his feet. Jake Travojevic. Tough pass there to hand off to Marty Tapau. He'll give one away to Cherry Evans himself. He has a full 360 once again. He's had a couple of those so far tonight. DCE plays it eventually here, midway through the set. Jake Travojevic, Foran, out the back they go. Tom is there again. He's right, he's left. He plays it quickly, knocked to ground in doing so. Foran from dummy half takes them on. They'll stop him, and they'll force a play the ball from 10 metres out after he was held up in goal.
Gee, exploded out of dummy half then, Kieran Foran. I thought he might have tried to get a little bit lower. Manly doing it tough here to score.
Grubber from Cherry Evans. More pressure here on Dufty. They've got another goal line dropout. This is absorbing. The struggle between these two teams as the Bulldogs refuse to crack. The Seagulls just can't find a way through.
Nothing worse if you're a Bulldog defender to see that again. Another repeat set. Little grubber kick through. There's big Tommy trying his hardest and his heart out. They've gone close a couple of times, but they've been resilient, the Bulldogs.
We wait for the goal line dropout. Let's go down quickly to James Hooper.
Blocker mentioned Tom Trbojevic trying his heart out. You're not wrong. In front of 13,000 Northern Beaches faithful here in torrential rain. He's run for 145 metres, had 18 carries. Many of those have been play one carries straight off the ruck into the teeth of the defence. So even by his lofty standards, Tommy's having a red-hot crack.
Absolutely no doubt about that. Boy, he'll be a sick and sorry player tomorrow when he recuperates with his teammates. Got some real shots for his trouble on some of those crash plays close to the line. Bullymore will play it. From Croker, it comes to Jake Travojevic. Hit an enormous amount of touches through the middle of the field, either carrying the ball or tipping it on. Cherry Evans comes away here to Lawton. Right there by Burton. Got it away to Cherry Evans, though. There's another 360. He's the king of spin, isn't he? DCE here tonight. Now Croker, he'll kick it. Hit heavily for his trouble there by Thompson. Scramble in the end goal. It came to Ethan Bullymore. He thinks he scored. Was there a touch, though, to knock it on initially from the Sea Eagles?
Yeah, we're just going to have a look to see if this ball has gone back.
Chidge. Last tackle, got no try.
Got no try.
Can you check for a touch there by the Sea Eagles on the way through and the contact in the kick, please, mate?
He cleaned up at the back there, Bullymore, but we'll see if the ball's been knocked backwards. A crossfield kick from Croker. I think they did have the first grab of the ball. The Bulldogs, here's the crossfield kick now. Bullymore with a wholehearted effort chase.
Clearing the contact on the kicker. We'll now go back and put the ball on the boot to clear the chasers. Manly chases to the left, they're onside.
I think the kick was right on Wakeham, who's not a tall player. He's 2 in here. They go up to contest the ball.
And a touch by Brad Parker.
The ball comes off Brad Parker's hand and is knocked forward into the Bulldog.
Can you check that's in
We
goal?
have a decision.
And they hang on. The Bulldogs again.
Just need to confirm where the knock-on came, whether it was in the field of play or in the in-goal area. Boy, it's very close. The Bulldogs would
Okay, 20 metre.
happy for a 20-metre restart. That's exactly
Just
what
wait for my
they
whistle when I
get.
get back out there.
Gee, if they go on and win this game, the Bulldogs, they can put it down to the defence on their goal line. They've been under the pump, haven't they, for the whole second half?
Elmo was doing it tough there in the coach's box, isn't he, at the moment, as the rain pours down here at Brookvale once again. Confirmation, no try for the Seagulls. So many tackles inside the 20 in this second half. 36 now in total for the game. Possession has swung their way heavily in this second half.
Sean now!
So it's Aaron Shop to play it here, 14 minutes away from Sunday night with Matty Johns. Paul Vaughan takes it forward. And the second half goes the way the first half did. The Bulldogs will score against the run of play and grab a lead here, potentially late in the game. But scoring chances for them, well, they really haven't had one in this second half, have they?
Olakawatu back on for the Manly side. Powerful running back rower. I'll be putting Walker back on there somewhere too. He looked dangerous when he was out there for Manly.
Biondi back out there at dummy half. Here is Addo Carr, goes over the top, back on the inside for Naden. Harper does well. Big tackle there. Plays it quickly though for Burton, who fires it to Biondi. That was some sort of pass from Burton from dummy half. Jackson inside the 20 on the last play here. Biondi out of dummy half. Burton runs to Olakawatu. He'll be stopped there again at the back end. The Bulldogs can't get the pressure they were looking for.
Yeah, you've got to come away with that grubber kick in and behind and try and get that repeat set. Turn over to the Manly side again. Here's Big Tommy with another front rower's carry. He's a courageous fella.
He had a choice in that previous play, in the last play there at the set, Matt Burton, to either put a kick in or take the tackle. He chose the latter for fear of giving away 20-minute restart for Manly. Was a knock on there by Carl Lawton. And we saw they challenged in the first half through Daly Cherry Evans, so they can't challenge this.
No, they can't. It was a sloppy play, the ball. And as we said, they've taken their hooker in Lachlan Croker off. So there's a little bit of indecision at dummy half. There was hardly no one. There was no one there. Cherry Evans just got there a little bit late. The Bulldogs gifted some field position here.
Sloppy play the ball, wasn't it? Still on his knees when he planted the ball on the ground. Hadn't gone close to regaining his feet to play it correctly. So Wakeham with the scrum feed here for the Bulldogs. See what they've got here towards the back end of the game. They've done so much work defensively. Not enough left here to put some real questions to this Manly defence. Addo Carr. Manly this left-hand touchline. Burton needs some carries here. The forwards going nowhere at the moment. They've used up 2 plays and they've gone maybe for a gain of 1. Jackson now. He shows it to the right-hand side. Minimal gain once again. It's not happening for the Bulldogs. Biondi Vaughan bounces off one defender, gets some momentum here, takes it inside the 20. That was good. Came a couple of plays late though. Still 2 left in the set though. Dufty puts it back on the inside. Here is Aaron Shop on the angle, taken down. Good contact there by Sean Kepi. Last play. It is Wakeham who grubbers knocked on. Put down there by Olakawatu, and the Bulldogs will get a fresh set from 10 metres out.
Well, can you believe it again? It was a little bit better, the kick at the line. Olakawatu comes away with the knock on. Shot looked a little bit dangerous too on the other side of the field, just cutting back inside. It's a good tackle made by Kepi. I wonder if the Bulldogs need the opportunities that Manly had for the bulk of this second half. 10 metres out on the attack. Let's see how hungry they are.
It has been very much one-directional, their attack, hasn't it? No changes of angle, really. Nobody, as you say, cutting back on the angle, as Shop did in that previous set. Let's see if they can offer something here. It's Thompson. Manly.
Yeah, mate.
There's a penalty here. It'll be a differential, will it? No, it's going to be ruled Manly were offside, and they can take the 2 for a kick at goal to level things here at 12 apiece.
See, that one's got me beat. That was exactly where the scrum was formed. So how's anyone offside there? Unless they didn't pack in the scrum properly. Or they're broken.
Very, very quickly. Tom Trbojevic packing in there. He was off to the races. And as a result, it'll be Burton here from beside the uprights. Try and make this 12 apiece.
Can you believe it'll be, if he does kick this one, the only points of the second half so far. Manly with all the field position and all the ball, forced a few line dropouts, but haven't been good enough to score.
Inside the final 10. And Matt Burton. Taking tough kicks early in the game off tries. He'll kick the one on the other side of half-time. His biggest one of the night right here. The strike is good. He pilots it between the posts. We are locked up here. What a finish we have in this final game of round 3 on the Sunday Ticket live on Fox League. Warren Smith, Steve Blocker-Roach, and James Hooper bringing you all the action. That man, Tom Trbojevic, who has tried and tried again tonight, scored his first try of the season in the first half. Get them on the board, but here they are now. He breaks from the scrum, gives away the penalty. It cost them 2 points. And they're set for a grandstand finish.
Yeah, 12 all. Manly have made double the errors that the Bulldogs have made in this game of football, but the possession, the weight of possession and the amount of times they've had the ball in the 20 attacking, haven't been good enough to get over that stripe. Going to be a great finish, this one.
Vaughan going backwards here. Some strong defence from Parker and Bullymore in particular. Good shot. Running sideways there. Saw Sean Kepi. He gets drilled for his trouble. Couple of big wins for Manly early in this set. Dogs need something here to get themselves out of trouble. Braden Burns coming in off the wing. It's Naden. On this left-hand side, in fact, Corey Waddell will take the carry here, just inside his own 30. Burton from dummy half, goes through beyond Diodo. Jackson now, last play here for the Bulldogs. They need a big clearing kick from Burton. No pressure at all from the Seagulls. He shanked this, Matt Burton, can you believe that? Almost caught by James Hooper. Some 10 metres into touch on the full, and Matt Burton, after all the good work he's done tonight, gives Manly a terrific chance here.
It looks like he was in two minds, knowing where he's going to be. It looked like he changed his mind mid-kick and tried to go for a 40-20. Manly again, field position. Are they good enough to score?
Let's see what they're thinking. Daly Cherry Evans has 23 field goals in his long career. The other Manly player to have kicked one in the NRL is the man with the ball in Kieran Four. And boy, they went close to giving away a penalty. Forget the field goal right there. Here is Walker. Back on for the frantic finish with 6.5 minutes remaining. Time to set up for a one-pointer here should they want to go. It's Tom Trbojevic who'll just take it forward. Looking for a quick play the ball. That sort of carry, if you are going for a field goal, would be handy. They'll go wide, though, on play 5. Doesn't look like they're setting up for one at the moment. 9 metres out from the line. Cherry Evans, who will take a snap charge down by the Bulldogs. Dylan Walker was back there. That's heads-up play. Some experience from Dylan Walker in case there was a charge down. He positioned himself some 25 metres behind Cherry Evans.
Yeah, I think it might have been the speed man in Dufty. Was it Dufty that come up and put pressure on? Harper's dropped the ball again here. An ordinary pass. Dufty down in the back plate.
You couldn't believe it. Dufty in all sorts of trouble here, back behind the play with what looks to be a cramp. Also back in the middle of the field there was another problem for another Bulldog around the ruck area. Instead, Manly go wide and knock it on through this poor pass, which put Harper under pressure. And the play continued. They might have had them shot to bits.
Yeah, I think that was Thompson. I think the ball hit him flush in the face. He was down for a little while. It's good news too for Matt Duffy. He's got to his feet.
Still 5 minutes away from the end of regulation time. If we do get to Golden Point, Blocker, I can tell you, they've met 3 times where it has gone to Golden Point, and the Bulldogs have won all 3 of them.
Wow, it surprises me. Cherry Evans, how many field goals he's kicked over his career.
Biondi waits at dummy half, and the Dogs get themselves enough metres here to maybe take a chance, but a long-range one, and a difficult night for the kickers. Could give away a 7-tackle set.
You've got to make sure you're in a position to kick.
Trouble here because Burns knew he was going into touch. A desperate pass back on the inside, straight to Kieran Foran. What a disaster for the Bulldogs.
Some sort of take there too from Foran. Manly again in the half of the Bulldogs. Let's see if they'll work their way up to a field goal position again. He's already attempted one. Cherry Evans.
It's Walker, 35 metres out. Plays it here for Lawton. Cherry Evans. Saab was looking for a kick there, pushing up on the wing, thinking there was a chance to lob one in behind them. Problem here with Oikawatu losing a shoe. It's Tom Travojevic who takes the carry again on the play before a potential attempt. Cherry Evans will have another crack at it! What a strike! Field goal number 24 for DCE.
Yeah, what about Tom Trbojevic's will to win? Again, coming in to carry the ball. He's been outstanding. No, he hasn't made the breaks that we usually see, but the carries, 22 runs from Big Tommy. He set the ground rule there, got him in the position. Looked like it was a sloppy kick from Cherry Evans. At this time, he lands it. The captain from Manly.
You would think the Bulldogs have to go short here. It's the most field goals of any current player in the NRL daily, Cherry Evans. Burton looking for some hang time. Chases there for the Bulldogs. It's thereabouts, patted back by Manly. Cherry Evans comes up with it. He's everywhere suddenly. And the 2 stars standing up, Braden Burns, who made the mistake by taking on the touchline, turned the ball over, gave it to Manly. Now he's fired up.
A bit of gamesmanship there from Cherry Evans, just staying down. And Braden Burns just stood over the top of him saying, get up, come on, there's still time left on the clock.
Let's see how Manly approach this final 3 minutes. Now they have the lead. There's Burns. Surely he gave away a penalty there. It's going to be play on. Early in the tackle count anyway, but Manly would have appreciated some easy metres there. Parker was taken around the shoulders, maybe beyond. He gets up to play it. All credit to him as Walker will play it here, 10 short of the halfway line. What are they working for at the back end of the set? They're working for a kick from Cherry Evans from inside the 40. The Fox on the run, comes up with the ball. He goes midfield to Duffy, and the Bulldogs, with plenty of time on the clock, if they can get enough metres here, will get a chance themselves at the other end of the field. Pangai Jr. Good tackle, Manly. Sean Kepi driving in under the ribs and taking Pangai Jr. backwards.
Yeah, he's got good technique, Kepi. He's a good young player. That was some sort of tackle on the big man.
The Seagulls 2 minutes away from opening their account for 2022. Here's Duffy on a spread. Burns again going sideways. Grabbed this time by Parker. 4 plays gone at the halfway line. It'll come back to the middle where Vaughan will push it forward. They need something special right now. Burton floating out the back. Biondi looks to him. He was thinking about a field goal attempt from 47 metres. It'll work out okay because it stays in play. Travojevic brings it back. There was no chase though from the Bulldogs at all. And Travojevic brings it back to almost the 20.
Yeah, a little bit adventurous, that one. Didn't hit it that good. Tommy brings the ball back to all up over the 20.
The Seagulls can control the ball here as the chant goes up. 4 Pines Park at Brookvale. Midway through the set, Cherry Evans for Walker, putting the foot down. Getting some tired forwards. That's a handy carry. Lawton. He goes to Tom Trbojevic again. He's the play 5 specialist. Takes another one. Wrapped up there by Waddell. Cherry Evans. He'll just kick it towards the corner. It comes off the back of Josh Jackson. Play on here for the Seagulls. Still the last. Saab gives it to Cherry Evans. Second kick. This one is an absolute beauty.
Yeah, nice little walk to the scrum too for the Manly side. I reckon the Bulldogs will be getting on their bike to form a scrum to try and take a little bit of time off. There's the turnover.
40 seconds remaining here for the Bulldogs. They're 90 metres away, and they haven't looked like scoring, apart from the penalty goal of Burton, in this second half. Pangai Jr. 25 short of the halfway line. Barely time for a couple more plays. It goes to Wakeham. He wasn't expecting it. He'll keep it alive. Dufty comes out here to Naden. Plenty of Manly jumpers, though, in front of him. Precious seconds ticking away. This will be their last shot right here. They're out near the sideline. Addo Carr goes to Burton. He spreads it. Jackson comes back here to Wakeham. He comes back to where the play the ball was. Finds Addo Carr. Puts a kick in over the top. It's out on the full. And Manly have opened their accounts for 2022. A battering ram in Tom Trbojevic, laying the platform for a field goal from Daly. Cherry Evans is the difference at full time. At the end of 80 absorbing minutes, it's the Seagulls 13, the Bulldogs 12.